Right, well today we're looking at the amazing Samsung S95C. This is the 65-inch version, and the S801B sort of mini soundbar. But I think, as you'll find shortly, quite a maxi sound. So first, let's take a look at some of the physical aspects of both these devices.
Okay, the first thing I wanted to do is just show you some of the physical things that are going on here with this OLED TV. So as you can see, it's a very, very skinny panel. So that will fit pretty much absolutely flush with your wall. Look, there's nothing behind there, nothing. Okay. It does, of course, come with a stand, luckily for me, and speaking of small, so is the remote. The remote seems to get smaller and smaller, but it's still perfectly usable with the favourite buttons for some of the most popular streaming apps there. And of course, for the last couple of years, Samsung has been powering their remotes by the solar panel on the back, which means millions and millions of batteries we're not chucking away. So that's good. Now, moving on to the soundbar itself, the S801B soundbar. So can you see it? Can you see it? Where is it? Where's the soundbar? So no, I've actually just tucked it away. That's it there, believe it or not. So if I just pull it out, you'll see how tiny that is. And so I mean, it's a great compliment for Samsung's frame TVs, of course, that hide away on the wall looking like works of art. So it comes in white as well in that case, and you can just put that up on the wall and it won't take up much wall space. But yeah, like I say, why wouldn't you just tuck it away there? Although, in saying that, it does have a tap and go feature. So if we
3 hours building
play my QAnon anonymous podcast here, and we just
you died doing what you love.
Tap that on here.
Damon in an RPG, which isn't a joke. He does exactly that. He'd be like, "What do you think? What do you think? It's Matt Damon.
We
what do you
can
think?"
swap that over to the soundbar.
All right, let's go Quest. Well, Jake's friends often were
Just like
waiting
that.
for him to enter actual game.
So that's useful, for sure. So we'll find out how that sounds in a minute. It also pairs with a wireless subwoofer as well. So yeah, as you can see, that's also pretty small.
Right, so the big question with any OLED TV is, can you see it in the daytime? Because while OLED has got a reputation for having great contrast, fantastic blacks and bright whites, perhaps the overall brightness historically has not been able to compete with the QLED, which is what Samsung is best known for. However, Samsung has managed to create, I don't know, some kind of hybrid effect here, and so we've got a very bright OLED indeed. Now, it's a cloudless day outside, and unfortunately my room where I've got the TV set up, this is how I watch it, with a window behind me, which is not ideal. Normally I pull the blind down, but for the sake of this demonstration, let's see if you can still see what's going on, and have a listen to that soundbar while this is happening as well. Just a warning, this is the latest John Wick movie. There might be a bit of violence. If there are younger viewers, parental discretion is advised. So just a quick little bit there from what I found to be an amazing assault on the senses in a good way. But yeah, look, there's no reflection, there's no light shining on that screen, even though I've got this sunshine coming in the window behind me. And I don't know if that sound really came across. It's a really hard thing to do, to get that sound to come across. But yeah, the subwoofer is definitely putting out a great bass punch, and that tiny little soundbar creates a sort of a really immersive experience. Perhaps it's not as good, and it's never going to be as good as having a couple of surround sound speakers behind you. That's just physics. But yeah, I find that as I'm watching, I certainly fall into the magic, orally wise, and it sounds great. But that's not all. This is the TV that also saves you money. So how does it do that? Well, a couple of ways. Firstly, I am a fan of Philips Hue lighting, especially the background lighting the smart lights that you can put behind the TV screen to get them going. So there's an app for that on the new Samsung TVs, which cuts out the Philips Hue Sync box that is normally required to make these things work. That you download this app. Now, it's not a cheap app, costs over $200, but the thing with the app is that makes it hundreds of dollars cheaper than an actual Philips Hue Sync box, which is normally how you have to plug in your TV if you want that effect to happen. So if I can just demonstrate what that means, if we go on to Samsung's range of free TV channels, you'll see that we have the background lighting working perfectly in sync. With what's on the TV there. So we're not having to pass it through any external device. You just need the Hue bridge. It connects to that wirelessly, and you can add whatever lights. So I've got a couple of little lights at the back there, Hue lights. You can have a light strip that goes right round the edge of the TV. You can even sync it up with your lights up in the ceiling if you really want a full multimedia experience. Here we are playing one of my favourites, the old Lego Star Wars, and that's in spite of the fact that I don't have an Xbox or any kind of console at all. It's all part of the TV. And yep, I've just got a controller here which I've paired with the TV, and it works exactly the same way. I wouldn't know the difference between this and playing with a console, and as you can see, it looks great. So that's the price of a you've got to pay your Xbox cloud gaming subscription, but that's a lot cheaper than buying a whole console. So the other question mark with an OLED TV, what about fast motion? What about sport? How does that look? And what better way to test that than the Chiefs playing in the quarterfinal of the Super Rugby competition, which of course they'll win, go on to the semi, win that, go on and win the whole thing. So here they are, and wow, it looks pretty amazing to me. And as you can see, combined with the backlighting of the Philips Hue lights, we've managed to basically extend the pitch all the way off the TV and onto the walls as well, basically creating the ultimate viewing experience. Come on, you Chiefs, you can't win if you haven't got the ball. What are you doing?